Hello friends and welcome back. I hope you are having an awesome day. Welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to chat all about the Parks Canada shuttle bus to Moraine Lake. So if you are interested in visiting Moraine Lake and you are also interested in taking the Parks Canada shuttle bus there, this is the right video for you. My previous video also talked about the many different ways to get to Moraine Lake. The Parks Canada shuttle bus is just one way to get there. So if you are wondering all of your options to get to Moraine Lake, go check out my previous video. But otherwise, in this video, I'm going to chat all about the Parks Canada shuttle bus, some pros, some cons, things to know. And then at the end of the video, I will do a little walkthrough on how to book. So the timestamps are down below if you are only interested in some parts or you want to jump around or just kind of want to see what's ahead in the video. So check out the description below, but otherwise let's kind of jump into chatting about the Parks Canada shuttle bus to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. So the shuttle bus to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise is ran by Parks Canada, and basically it is just this giant bus that will take you to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. So since 2023, Parks Canada has put in a rule that you can no longer drive your personal vehicle up to Moraine Lake. As of 2025, you still can drive to Lake Louise. It's just Moraine Lake that you can no longer drive to, with a few exceptions. If you have a blue handicap pass, you can still drive up there, and if you're a guest at the Moraine Lake Lodge. But we're talking about the Parks Canada shuttle bus. So it's a great option if you are looking to visit Moraine Lake and Lake Louise in the same day. It is a great option if you are on a budget because it is one of the most affordable options to get there. So as of March 2025, when I'm filming this video, for the 2025 summer season, right now, Parks Canada has the prices listed as follows. So for adults, that is age 18 to age 64, their individual ticket costs $8 per person. Youth 17 and under are currently free, but you still have to book a seat on the bus and get them their own ticket. It's just that their ticket will be free. And then age 65 and older cost $4 to ride. And then there is also a booking fee if you are booking online or booking through the phone. So if you book online, there's an extra $3.50 fee. And if you're booking on the phone, there is an extra fee of $5.50. Cool. And then just keep in mind, you still need the Parks Canada National Park Pass if you are visiting Banff. So that is a separate cost. The $8 fee and whatever I just said is just for your ticket to ride the bus. All of the other like national park fees and stuff, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the fee to ride the bus and book your spot on the bus, your ticket for the bus. Okay, and how they actually release the tickets is for this year, they usually announce what day they are going to release 40% of the tickets, and usually they release 40% of the tickets in the spring for the upcoming summer season. And they usually announce the day that they are releasing the tickets in early winter of that year. So for example, in January 2025, Parks Canada announced that the tickets for the Moraine Lake summer season will be going on sale on April 16th, 2025 at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So on April 16th at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in the year 2025, Parks Canada is going to release 40% of the available tickets for the Parks Canada shuttle bus to go to Moraine Lake / Lake Louise. Now, the rest of the tickets, so the other 60% of the tickets, will be released in what they call a rolling window. So 60% of the tickets will be released 2 days prior to the date of departure at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So for example, if you wanted to go to Moraine Lake on August 10th, 40% of the tickets for the buses on August 10th will be released on April 16th, 2025. The other 60% of the tickets for August 10th will be released on August 8th at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So the other 60% of the tickets are released 2 days prior to the travel date at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you are looking to go to Moraine Lake this summer and it is now past April 16th, you still have a chance to book 2 days prior. But also I would recommend watching for cancellations leading up to your hopeful travel date as well, because people cancel all the time. People book things in April and then they realize it doesn't work for their trip, or maybe they found a cancellation and now their original ticket doesn't work, and then so they start canceling their other tickets, and then yeah, seats open up. So just watch for cancellations and yeah, be prepared. So that's how they release the tickets. And so you can book your ticket on the Parks Canada website or through calling their phone number. I'll link the websites and stuff down below. But also at the end of the video, I'll walk you through the Parks Canada reservation system website because it can be a little bit confusing if it's your first time booking through them. So I would definitely recommend watching that little walkthrough, but also taking the time yourself before the tickets are released to get on there, learn the website, and navigate how it works, because tickets go fast. I'm just gonna say tickets go fast. It is very stressful, and you want to be ready with a plan. You want to know how that website works, and you want to make it through and secure your tickets as fast as possible. Now, the way that the booking system works is on April 16th or 2 days prior to the travel date, you are going to want to log on to the Parks Canada website like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the tickets are released. So if the tickets are released at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I would probably log on around 7:50 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then you will be put in a waiting room on the Parks Canada website. Once you are in this waiting room, don't refresh, just kind of leave the page open, and then at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, the page will automatically reload, and it's going to put you in a spot in line for the queue, which means line. So it's going to put you in the queue, and your spot is totally random. I have logged on at 7:58 a.m. and gotten a really good spot in the queue. I have logged on at 7:15 a.m. and gotten a really sucky spot in the queue. So it's totally random. It doesn't matter as long as you are on before 8 a.m. Because if you log on after 8 a.m., it will automatically put you at the back of the line. So you want to be in the waiting room, and then you want to be automatically refreshed and put in a spot in line. And then at that point, it's kind of may the odds be in your favor, and hopefully you can secure the tickets you want with the spot you are in line. And so before this, I would make sure you've explored the website. Like I said, make sure you're familiar with how the booking system works, and make sure you have a Parks Canada account so that you can easily log in to your account on the day of, and your tickets don't accidentally fall out of your cart and get re-released and then somebody else takes them. And I would have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C for what ticket and time slot you want and what day. So I would have a calendar out for your trip and just kind of have different ideas of what may work and what may not work. Because in the moment of booking your tickets, like I said, it can be stressful. So if you have everything written out in front of you and you know what you want, it'll be easier to make that decision under pressure. I don't mean to scare you, and maybe it's just me who gets like super stressed about this, but this is probably one of the most stressful times of the year is when all of the booking things get released on Parks Canada, because it's like, I don't know, I just want to make sure I secure everything that I want. So yeah, have a plan and have it in front of you so that you can make decisions easily. Okay, so the decisions that you could make when you actually log on are something to think about. So the way the Parks Canada shuttle works is there are 3 different kind of shuttles you could choose from when booking. All of them go to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. It just kind of depends on what you can get and what you're hoping your experience to be like. So the first one is called the Alpine Shuttle Start. So the Alpine Shuttle Start will get you to Moraine Lake at a really early time in the morning. So when you're going to book your tickets, you'll book it between a time slot. So for the Alpine Start, they have a shuttle leaving at either 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. So when you log on the day that you're booking your tickets, your seat on the bus, if you choose Alpine Shuttle Start, you'll either choose a 4 a.m. time to leave at or a 5 a.m. time to leave at. And that is basically your designated time. That's when you have a seat on the bus, and that's when you have to go. For the other shuttles, so whether you're going to Lake Louise first or Moraine Lake first, not on the Alpine Start, but like between 6:30 a.m. and whenever the last bus is, you will book a time frame for that. So the first time frame, I believe, is between 6:30 and 7 a.m. And then every other time slot that you can book is a 1 hour increment. So either between 7 and 8 a.m., 8 to 9, 9 to 10, and so on. And so basically how it works is those shuttles leave every 30 minutes. So if you book the time slot 6:30 to 7 a.m., you could get on the 6:30 a.m. bus or the 7 a.m. bus. If you book the time slot 7 to 8 a.m., you can get on the 7 a.m. bus, the 7:30 a.m. bus, or the 8 a.m. bus, and then so on. So basically, you'll book a time slot, but the buses leave in 30-minute increments. I would probably just recommend showing up at the start of your time slot just in case that bus fills up. You might have to kill a half hour till the next bus, but getting in line and just being there to make sure you get your seat on the bus, I don't know, that just sounds like a good idea to me, but also I get kind of stressed out. Or if you're running late and you miss the 7 a.m. bus, you can probably get on the 7:30 bus if your time increment is between 7 and 8 a.m. But that also plays into the fact of being flexible on this day is key, and just kind of knowing that you might be waiting a little bit, and that's okay because Moraine Lake and Lake Louise are so beautiful, it is worth it. So there's going to be 2 different parking lots that you would park at depending on the shuttle you choose. So the 2 parking lots, there is the Lake Louise Lakeshore parking lot, which is basically where Lake Louise is, and then there's the Lake Louise Ski Village parking lot, which is kind of farther from Lake Louise Lakeshore. Like, it's quite a drive. Well, it's not quite a drive. It's quite a distance. Like, you wouldn't be able to park at the Lake Louise Ski Village parking lot and just easily walk to Lake Louise. Like, it would probably take you an hour, maybe more, to walk from there to Lake Louise. So Lake Louise Ski Village, that parking lot is farther away. It's massive, and it's free to park at. Lake Louise Lakeshore parking lot is right at Lake Louise. It is not free. Currently, Parks Canada has the price listed at $36.75 per vehicle per day, and that is the only payment option. And it's between the hours of like 3 a.m. and 7 p.m. is when paid parking is in effect. And yeah, those are your 2 parking options. Unless you're staying at the campground or in Lake Louise Village, you're gonna need a car basically, because you have to be able to park. Like, if you need to take the bus to Lake Louise, I would recommend booking through Rome Transit. Check out my other video and just kind of skip to the Rome Transit part to learn about that. But if you don't have a car, you're going to want to take Rome Transit. If you do have a car, the Parks Canada shuttle is an option for you. There is a shuttle connector bus that connects the campground to the free parking lot. But if you're camping, you probably might also have a car. So if you're camping, send me a message and I can help you with that, or call Parks Canada. But basically, you would just take the shuttle connector bus from the campground to the ski village parking lot, and then you would take your shuttle to Lake Louise. But basically, you're gonna probably have a car if you're taking the shuttle, the Parks Canada shuttle. So back to the parking lots. Free Lake Louise ski village parking lot, paid Lake Louise Lakeshore parking lot. If you are taking the Alpine shuttle, you have to park at the paid Lake Louise Lakeshore parking lot. If you are taking the other 2 options, you have to park at the Lake Louise Ski Village parking lot. If you don't park at the right parking lot, they won't let you on the bus, from what I've heard. I've never tried it, but that's what I've heard. So the Alpine shuttle that leaves between 4 and 5 a.m. only leaves from the Lake Louise Lakeshore parking lot. You have to pay for parking. So basically, if you're choosing this option, you would drive to Lake Louise really early in the morning, park in the parking lot, pay for parking, get on your shuttle, go to Moraine Lake, enjoy Moraine Lake for however long you want. And then you are going to be taking what's called the Lake Connector shuttle bus back to Lake Louise. And then you'll explore Lake Louise, get in your car, and drive to wherever you're going. The other 2 options leave from the Lake Louise Ski Village parking lot. And your options are basically go to Moraine Lake first or go to Lake Louise first. If you choose to go to Moraine Lake first, you'll get on the bus that goes to Moraine Lake within the time window you booked. It will drive you to Moraine Lake. You'll explore Moraine Lake. You'll get on the Lake Connector shuttle bus to Lake Louise, explore Lake Louise, and then you'll get on the other connector shuttle bus back to the Park and Ride Ski Village. If you choose to go to Lake Louise first, you'll basically park at the ski village, get on that bus between your time window, go to Lake Louise first, get on the Lake Connector shuttle bus to Moraine Lake when you're ready, explore Moraine Lake, and then get on that connector shuttle bus back to the parking lot. So those are your 3 options. Alpine start, park at Lake Louise Lakeshore, it costs money. Go to Lake Louise first, park at the free lot, ski village. Go to Moraine Lake first, park at the parking lot, it's free. So all 3 options will get you to both lakes. And how those different shuttles work, so basically you get a spot on the bus that you booked your time window for. There might be a little bit of waiting, but like you have a spot on that bus in that time window to get you there, to get you to your first lake that you chose. The Lake Connector shuttle bus that goes between Moraine Lake and Lake Louise is included in your pass, so you get a spot on that bus, but that bus is a first come, first serve bus. So you could be waiting in line for the Lake Connector shuttle bus. When they first started their first year of running these buses, I heard that the line could be like 2 hours long. Now that Lake Connector shuttle bus runs every 30 minutes. And yeah, that's honestly one of the cons of booking the Parks Canada shuttle bus, is because that Lake Connector shuttle bus is a first come, first serve. So just know that. And then the shuttle bus from your last lake back to the parking lot is also first come, first serve. So that could be a con, but that could be a pro as well. It's a con because you might be waiting in line for a really long time, but it's also a pro because it gives you a little bit more flexibility. For example, if you wanted to do a day hike at one of the lakes, you can, because you don't have to be back in time to catch your next bus. Whereas some of the other options for getting to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise, you have to be back by a certain time. And if the hike takes longer than you thought, or you wanted to spend more time there, it's a lot more flexible because there is no time slot that you need to get back for, but also you could be waiting a long time. So my recommendations for the smoothest trip would be, if you can, I would either do the Alpine shuttle start, because you'll have your car at Lake Louise and then you don't have to worry about that. And if you start at Moraine Lake really early, hopefully the Lake Connector shuttle bus wouldn't be as busy. So it would be easier to get back to Lake Louise, and then you can just drive away when you're done. Or I would book Moraine Lake as my first stop if you can. That is usually the one that goes the fastest. But if you can book Moraine Lake as your first stop, explore that. You will hopefully be ready for the Lake Connector shuttle bus sooner rather than later, and then you can just get back to Lake Louise and then whatever, go. Or I would just only plan those 2 lakes, and that is all you have going for the day. So you've dedicated the whole day, you have enough time to wait in line, you don't have any other time commitments or anything you need to be back for. You have time to wait in line if there is a line, but you also have ideas of what to do if you get back to your car at a normal time and there's still things that you could go and explore. So have a plan A. I can have as much time at the lakes as I want to, but also I have backup options of things that I can do if I do end up having more time. Or one other thing that you could do is you could book Lake Louise as your first stop. Like the first bus to Lake Louise you could book at like 7 a.m. or whatever the first bus is, and then you could immediately get on the Lake Connector to Moraine Lake. So I'm pretty sure you can ride the Lake Connector back and forth if you wanted to. I guess this plan hinges on if you're able to do that, but I would go to Lake Louise, and then I think the Lake Connector shuttle buses start running right at 7. I would immediately get on the Lake Connector to Moraine Lake, explore that, and then go back to Lake Louise, and then go back to your car. If you can ride the Lake Connector shuttle bus a couple of times. Maybe I'll try that this summer and see if it works. And the reason I say, like, I really just want you to prioritize going to Moraine Lake because you can't get there any other way. Whereas Lake Louise, if you do have a car, you could drive there after 7 p.m. Parking is free, and then you could explore that area and still be able to see it. Or you could just eat the cost, like the $40 or whatever it is to go park there one day and just see it. Whereas Moraine Lake, it's kind of like you need the ticket and you need to get there. You can't just drive up there whenever you want. The road, there's a barricade on the road overnight, so you can't like drive up there. It's a lot harder to get to, so I would just prioritize Moraine Lake over Lake Louise because you can get to Lake Louise other ways a lot easier, if that makes sense. Okay, that was a long ramble, but have a plan for what you want, and then have a backup plan and like a plan ABC when you're gonna go book about what your most ideal shuttle situation would be. Okay, and just to recap some of the pros, like the pros of the shuttle is it's cheap, it is kind of flexible in return time as long as the lines aren't that bad. It's pretty easy, and the parking is free if you're not doing the Alpine shuttle start. But it's also a pro that there is an Alpine shuttle option if you wanted to go to Moraine Lake really early in the morning. Now, if you are hoping to watch the sunrise, make sure you check the sunrise time. because the Alpine shuttles start for Moraine Lake at some parts of the summer, it might still be too late to actually see the sunrise. So just do a little bit of investigation there just so that you're not disappointed. But yeah, those are some pros, and kids are free. So that's also another pro. Cons could be potentially long lines for those first come first serve buses in between the lakes and to get back to your car. Yeah. If I think of any other pros and cons, I'll put them on the screen here, but that's really the only con I could think of. It could be, yeah, you could be waiting around a little bit for going in between. Yeah, okay. We'll see if I think of any other pros and cons. If you have any pros and cons, let me know below. Oh, actually another con is that it's really hard to book. Well, it's not really hard to book. It's just really stressful to book, and tickets go really fast, and hopefully you can get the tickets that you want. And yeah, that's definitely a con, is the reservation system. I don't know how they could improve it because these tickets are in such high demand. So yeah, that's a con. Okay, and then before we jump into the walkthrough that I filmed, just kind of showing you how to work through the actual booking process as much as I can, because I filmed that back in like January or February or something. So I can't show you myself in the queue. And I also can't show you myself confirming the booking because tickets aren't on sale yet, because I'm filming this before tickets go on sale to hopefully help you for when they go on sale. So there are some limitations to the walkthrough, but I can show you a little bit of what you can expect when booking. And then just things to know in general about Moraine Lake and the Parks Canada shuttle bus. So I don't even think I said this at the beginning, but Moraine Lake is only operating and you can only really visit it in the summer season. So normally it opens either really late May or early June. In previous seasons, it opened on the May long weekend, but in recent seasons, it's just been opening on June 1st. And then it usually closes around Canadian Thanksgiving, so mid-October. And that is because Moraine Lake is in an avalanche area. So during the winter, the road to Moraine Lake is not plowed, it's not taken care of, and that is because it's not really recommended to go there for the average visitor, just because it is in an avalanche area, and avalanches are not something to really mess with. You can cross-country ski up the road a little bit, but the track doesn't go all the way to the lake area because avalanche. So unless you're trained in avalanche safety and you have the proper gear and whatever, you don't really want to visit Moraine Lake in the winter. So the shuttle runs usually June 1st to Canadian Thanksgiving, mid-October, and then it's closed the rest of the year. If you're planning to hike at Moraine Lake when you go, make sure you have the proper bear spray and yeah, water, food, snacks. There is a little cafe attached to the Moraine Lake Lodge Hotel there, but like it's expensive because it's really the only food up there. There, as of right now, is no service up at Moraine Lake, so just know that. Make sure you have everything pre-downloaded on your phone. Any maps that you need, make sure you have your tickets, have a printout in case your phone dies. Things like that. Just know you won't be able to access anything up there, most likely. Other things to know. Can you walk up and just get on the bus without a ticket? Most likely no. It is so popular that if any tickets are available, they'll probably be booked online in advance. And since there's not like actual departure times, like it's a departure window, I don't know if they would let you on the bus if there's a spot, because I feel like all the spots will always be taken. So, I mean, you can try. It doesn't hurt to try, but I would not get my hopes up for a walk-up spot on the shuttle bus for Parks Canada. And for the Alpine shuttle start, definitely not. They won't let you walk up and get on. You have to have a ticket for that Alpine shuttle start. If you have any restrictions with your ability to be mobile, so for example, if you are in a wheelchair, I don't believe Parks Canada shuttle buses have an ability to accommodate for wheelchairs right now. So your options would be looking at Rome Transit. I believe they have the ability to host a wheelchair. So go check out my other video where I kind of chatted about Rome Transit as one of the options to get to Moraine Lake, because you do also have to do some booking in advance for that one. Or if you do have that blue handicap pass, you might be able to drive up to Moraine Lake. They will still let you drive up if you have that blue pass and have a reason for going. So I would also look into that option if you needed that. If you have something like a stand-up paddleboard, especially if it's an inflatable one, you could ask them if they have room on the bus for it. When you get to the park and ride, they may or may not, depending on how many people have a watercraft. I think that there is room for a little bit of materials and things like that, but yeah, it really just depends. And then same with things like strollers, climbing gear, they usually can accommodate things like that. So just bring them, and if they can't, I guess you would just leave them them in your car, but most likely for things like strollers and climbing gear, they would definitely prioritize having space for those materials. If you are taking the shuttle, make sure you just check the last running times for the last shuttles between the lakes and back to the parking lot so that you don't get stranded. That would not be ideal, especially because there's no service at Moraine Lake. You don't want to be stranded up there. And then if you have a pet and it is like a service pet, make sure you have all of their documentations. They are allowed on the shuttle for free, from what I understand. And then small pets that can fit in a carrier are also allowed on the shuttle. So if they can fit on your lap while in the carrier, and they have to be in a carrier. I don't know if that's really ideal, because if you are planning to then explore Moraine Lake or Lake Louise or both, you are going to be carrying your carrier around everywhere. Like there's not really anywhere to put your carrier. So if you're going on like a hike or something, just keep that in mind. If you are bringing your pet on the Parks Canada shuttle bus, it has to be in a carrier and it has to fit on your lap. And I don't know what you're gonna do with your carrier when you get there. So just kind of think on that and do with that information what you will. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to chat about in regards to the Parks Canada shuttle bus. Hopefully that didn't take a million years, but there's a lot of information and it can be kind of confusing. So now we are going to jump into the walkthrough of the actual booking process of how to book these tickets when they go live on April 16th, 2025 at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, or in the future, if you're watching this in the future and booking. It's probably relatively the same for the most part. And yeah, let's jump into that. Okay, so we've switched screens a little bit here. So I'm down in the bottom corner. I can't figure out how to set up the camera properly while also recording the screen. So this is just what we're gonna do today. But I have started us on a clean slate. So we're at google.ca. So basically what you are going to do is I type in Parks Canada reservations into Google, and then you're going to, depending on your search history, I don't know what's gonna pop up for you, but you're gonna want the one that is Parks Canada reservations, and it's reservation.pc.gc.ca. So click that. If you wanted to just type in reservation.pc.gc.ca into your browser, that works too. And then just make sure you're on this screen. So Parks Canada reservations, Government of Canada. It's locked, so it's a safe kind of website. This is the official Parks Canada website. So this is the website where you go to book your day shuttle to Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. This is also where you go to book camping reservations as well if you were hoping to camp. So today we are hoping to book the day use shuttle. So on the top here, it automatically selects front country camping, but we are going to go over to this part here that says day use and click that. And then these are all of the options for day use things. So we want the shuttle to Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, which is Banff. So yeah, that one is automatically selected. And then we are going to select the arrival date. Now, since reservations haven't launched yet, they launch in April, and I'm recording this in January, we won't be able to do absolutely everything, but we can get a gist of what we need to know for reservations to open. So let's say you have planned out your trip and you are going on July 14th. You click July 14th, and then you click how many people you need seats for. The more seats you need, the harder it's gonna be, but I mean, if you need 4 seats, you need 4 seats. For this today, I'm just gonna do 2. Usually it's just myself and my fiance, so do your party size and then hit search. Now, when you're doing this the day of, you're going to want to be quite fast. So make sure you have everything planned out because these things go fast. Yep. So once you select your party size and your date, it's going to bring you to this map. Now, what you're going to want to do is click shuttle. This Icefields Parkway thing is for tenting, and this is also for tenting, hiking, tenting. So if you were hoping to book those, you were supposed to click the camping section. But since we're just doing the shuttle, you're going to click shuttle. And since it's green, it means that there are seats available for that date that I've selected. Obviously, there's seats available because they haven't gone on sale yet, but that's fine. So yeah, we're going to click shuttle. And then it's going to bring us to this page. And this is where you are going to get to choose what kind of time frame you want and where you want to go first. So if you want to stop at Lake Louise first and then take the connecting shuttle to Moraine Lake, you're going to select Lake Louise first. If you want to go to Moraine Lake first and then take the connecting shuttle to Lake Louise, you're going to select Moraine Lake first. Now, on the actual day of, some of these might be glowing red because they could be sold out already. So if it's red, don't even click it because there's nothing available. And then I just want to talk about, so these 3 shuttles, the 3 Lake Louise shuttles, and these 3 shuttles, the last 3 Moraine Lake shuttles, those shuttles all pick you up from the Lake Louise ski resort. Now, the Alpine Start for Moraine Lake shuttle, you have to park at the Lake Louise lakefront parking lot for that shuttle. You will have to pay the parking fee to park your car there. So have a plan in mind and have a backup plan in mind as well, just in case something is full. So let's pretend we're going to Moraine Lake and we want an early start, but we don't want to pay for parking at the Lake Louise lakefront parking lot. We want to park in the Park and Ride parking lot. So I'm going to click Moraine Lake morning, and then it's going to take you to this screen here. So we're looking at the Moraine Lake departures between 6:30 and 11 a.m. and they show up in increments of time. So the first one is you can show up between 6:30 and 7 a.m. or between 7 and 8, 8 and 9, whatever. And then it has the day that you've selected. So it'll start at the day that you selected when you were looking for tickets. And then it'll show you a couple days past that. And then if it's a green check mark, obviously that means that there are enough tickets. If it is red, it's unavailable and there's no space. So you can click whatever time you want. Let's say we're going on July 14th at 6:30 in the morning. Click that. So reservations aren't open yet, so we can't actually move past this screen. But basically you would add it into your cart, make sure everything is correct, and pay for it. Now, the thing when you go to pay for it is you're gonna need a Parks Canada account. So I would make sure that you have that set up in advance, just so that when you are ready to buy your tickets, you don't have to deal with setting up your account and everything and risk losing your tickets. Now, when you add tickets to your cart, it will hold the tickets for like 10 or 20 minutes so that nobody can get them. But sometimes the page, I've had it in the past where even though I've had them in my cart, I've lost them. So don't rely on that, but just know that that is a thing that happens. Okay, so a little tip here is if you are going to Banff for like 5 days, and let's say you were hoping to visit Moraine Lake on your 4th day, when you're selecting up here your day, so let's say you were going for this week, July 13th to 19th, and in your itinerary you were hoping to visit on the 17th, I would still select the 14th, the first day you're in Banff, because it will show you the whole week of what is available. And then you would just go like, okay, yeah, we wanted to go on July 17th around 7 a.m. It's available. I'll click it. But maybe like all of this is blacked out and July 16th at 10 a.m. is the only thing available. I would honestly snag those and try and rework your itinerary, or try and snag them, watch for cancellations for what you actually wanted to do. Try 2 days in advance to see if you can get the better tickets that work better, and then just give up your old tickets. You might lose out on your reservation fees, but I guess you can decide if it's worth it for you or not. But basically, the tip I'm trying to communicate is if you're hoping to go on July 17th, don't click July 17th, click the first day that you're in Banff so that you can see all of the days and get something that works for your itinerary in case a lot of stuff is sold out. And I would just really recommend kind of exploring the website for yourself, practicing for yourself before tickets go on sale on April 16th, just so that you can be used to how it works and have a game plan for when tickets go on sale on the day. Okay, and that is how you are actually going to book your tickets for the Parks Canada shuttle system. Hopefully that was simple and straightforward. Hopefully all of this information was helpful for you. Hopefully you can secure tickets when they go on sale. I will link the reservation website down below, as well as some Moraine Lake blog posts in case they are helpful for you. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy Moraine Lake. I hope you can get the tickets that you want. Don't forget to watch for cancellations if you wanted something else. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.